So how was it acting with a hyena?
VFX. I'll tell you something. So from being a supporting artist, in my view, VFX has become now a hero. It's a main player, right?
Correct.
We did some crazy stuff, but it took time. And that's the thing with VFX. You have to give it time. That there's a difference between a job and a good job. And that determines whether you are remembered or not. I feel sometimes artists only try to finish a job.
Your first film was Love, Sex and Dhokha in 2010.
जी.
लाइफ में इन तीनों में सबसे ज्यादा क्या मिला अभी तक? Thank you so much for joining our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure having you here. And you are an actor.
जी.
And my channel is more on the AVGC side, which is the animation, visual effects, games and comics.
जी.
And मेरे ऑडियंस सोच रहे होंगे कि एक एक्टर ये टेक्निकल शो में क्या कर रहा है, बट इन सबको जवाब मिलेगा एंड दे विल अंडरस्टैंड व्हाई एंड व्हाट एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट. आई विल स्टार्ट विद अ वेरी कोकी क्वेश्चन.
जी.
ओके, योर फर्स्ट फिल्म वाज LSD.
जी.
लव, सेक्स एंड धोखा इन 2010.
जी.
राइट. तो लाइफ में इन तीनों में सबसे ज़्यादा क्या मिला अभी तक?
अरे किस्मत अच्छी रही है. आई हैव बीन वेरी लकी इन लव and learned a lot. A lot of what I am is so love. I that way have been very lucky with love because my mother, I am a byproduct of being brought up by women.
Mm-hmm.
I am an actor today, or everything that I am is because of my teachers and my mom and my sister. Okay. So they have been a huge influence in my life. उन्होंने ने मुझे encourage किया. Actually मेरी बहन ने मेरे सारे पृथ्वी थिएटर के वर्कशॉप्स के पैसे भी भरे. जब मैंने बैरी जॉन का कोर्स किया उस टाइम, देखिए आजकल अलग है. 2002 में 45,000 रुपये देना फॉर एन एक्टिंग कोर्स फॉर अ 16-17 ईयर ओल्ड फ्रॉम अ मिडिल क्लास फैमिली. इट्स क्या कर रहे हो जिंदगी के साथ? एक्टिंग हॉबी है, इतने पैसे तो कॉलेज में जाने चाहिए.
So at the age of 13,
जी,
you came from Prayagraj, with earlier called as
Allahabad. I was born in Allahabad.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then at the age of 13, you came to Bombay.
No. I actually shifted to Delhi to finish my schooling when I was 10. And yes, Bombay I came when I was 13 for the first time.
From Delhi you came to Bombay for the first time.
जी.
And this was for a summer camp at Prithvi Theatre. Acting.
हाँ, so उस time Vodafone Orange होता था. If you
Orange, yeah, of course.
So Orange and Prithvi. So I think Prithvi Theatre was sponsored by Orange back in the day, the plays or the theatre itself. So all the workshops were sponsored by Orange Presents. So संजना कपूर का वर्कशॉप होगा, रामनाथ थरवाल, अतुल कुमार, बड़े बड़े जो थिएटर के दिग्गज हैं. तो मेरी बहन ऑरेंज का सिम यूज करती थी.
Okay.
So Orange members had first access because of that. क्योंकि हर वर्कशॉप में 10 ही बच्चे या 15 ही बच्चे होते थे. So there used to be a queue at Prithvi when the applications used to open. जो कि जानकी कुटीर से used to go all the way till the outside gate.
Wow.
But because my sister had the orange card, और मोबाइल फोन्स उस टाइम आ ही रहे थे,
सबके पास नहीं.
So सबके पास था नहीं, तो उसके चलते मुझे एक आधा वर्कशॉप में एंट्री मिल जाती थी.
Okay.
उसके बावजूद वर्कशॉप्स used to get full, because in Bombay obviously a lot more people had.
Glamour place, yeah.
So रामनाथ थरवाल, संजना कपूर and अतुल कुमार के वर्कशॉप्स मैंने किए and my life changed.
Okay.
Prithvi is my favorite place in the city and it's my favorite theatre in the world.
But what made you come to Bombay to attend this acting workshop? Was it because you were inclined towards acting? You did a lot of theatre?
I always wanted to be an actor.
Okay, right from
मैं 5 साल का था तब मेरे घर पे एक, and I have said this in the press also previously, एक VHS कैसेट त्रिदेव करके फिल्म बनाई थी राजीव राय ने, जो रह गई थी. वो शॉप बंद हो गई तो वो VHS कैसेट रह गई घर पे. तो मैं रोज स्कूल से आता था और त्रिदेव देखता था. और वो त्रिदेव मैंने कुछ नहीं तो 100-150 बार देखी, कुछ नहीं तो कम से कम. And तिरछी टोपी वाले for me was the song.
Okay.
And Naseer Sahab was the hero. So जब मैंने नसीर साहब से पहली बार मुलाकात की और उनको मैंने बताया कि मैं त्रिदेव, so it's a very the irony of that a great actor like Naseer Saab, I fell in love with him in one of his commercial works,
yeah.
so to speak.
And your first film to release in 2010, that is LSD, Love, Sex and Dhokha. And the same year you were featured as one of the top 10 Bollywood actors.
जी, I was
ये
1st of
मतलब
Jan
क्या
11. I'll not exaggerate. I had 100 plus messages on my phone. उस टाइम WhatsApp शायद नहीं था 2011 में.
10-11 में शायद इनिशियल
याद नहीं था.
मैसेजेस थे.
Facebook था.
फेसबुक तो था. फेसबुक
तो Facebook पे मेरे पास 100 से ज़्यादा मैसेजेस आए हुए थे, जो कि उस टाइम के लिए बहुत है, हाँ, क्योंकि उस टाइम फ्रेंड जैसे हजारों में नहीं होते थे.
और होते हैं भी तो they couldn't communicate to you as easy as like WhatsApp now.
हाँ.
भेज दिया मैसेज.
और SMS मेरा भर गया था.
हाँ.
तो मैंने सोचा ये क्या हुआ, क्यों?
अच्छा, you had no idea.
हाँ. My only aspiration is to make one movie every year, which I am consistently doing, and nothing and no one's going to stop me. Till there's oxygen in the air and the gods are on my side, I will find a way to do it. And one day I might just drop it actually, and I might go and become a babysitter. I'm very good with babies. Free advertising.
Yes.
I might become a Manny.
Then, so
Manny.
Manny. Yes, we'll put this your description. We'll put the description में link of your.
बचपन से
Manny.
I have been very good with kids. Animals and kids are my space. With adults, I struggle sometimes.
So because of the love towards animal, you produced and acted in Lakadbaggha.
जी.
That's something which we're going to take our discussion from about Lakadbaggha. We would like to know the background of this film.
जी.
I mean, how did this happen? Because you've been an actor. You produced films before also, like
Right.
Mona Darling was one which
हम भी अकेले was there.
Hum Bhi Akele was.
Yeah.
So, I want to talk about Hum Bhi Akele and Tum Bhi Akele also later. But this concept was very different and also VFX heavy.
VFX heavy.
How was it? Like, of course, like, as a first timer, you think, should I try with VFX? Because VFX can go wrong and people can, you know how people are nowadays. Like, they troll very easily on social media saying, "Arey bakwas hai, VFX bakwas hai, blah, blah."
Sure.
So how did you take this chance of doing a VFX heavy film at a very early
So
stage?
I don't take chances like that.
Okay.
Like I said, I prep really hard. So my choices are based on, like I said, I come from education. So I study everything. So when I made Hum Bhi Akele, Tum Bhi Akele, I'll give you a very simple example.
please.
10% of India's population is in the LGBTQ community bracket. Either in the open or closed.
Yeah.
Now, my math was simple. That there is an audience for the community. So there needs to be a happy, real mainstream film that talks about their life in a manner where you're not caricaturizing them. क्योंकि तब तक what Bollywood was doing was either making it caricaturish funny or making it very dark and grim. And मैंने कहा क्यों? Because I have friends from the community. And they are like you and me. So there is no they and us. सबसे पहली प्रॉब्लम तो ये है. The moment you say they, आप डिफरेंस कर रहे हो. तो मैंने कहा एक नॉर्मल फिल्म है दो दोस्तों के बारे में. It so happens that और मेरा बड़ा सिंपल मैथ था कि ये अगर है इसका 1% अगर हमारी फिल्म देखेगा, चलो 1% भी हटाओ, 0.1%. You do the math. That's the pitch I gave Disney after I made the film. And the numbers were there to see. उन्होंने एक बहुत बड़ी फिल्म, मैं नाम नहीं लूँगा, हमसे 10 गुना दाम में खरीदी थी और हमसे 1 महीने पहले रिलीज हुई थी उन्हीं के प्लेटफॉर्म पे. और उस फिल्म ने हमसे 1.5 गुना ज़्यादा नंबर किया व्यूअरशिप में. So you understand the math.
Yeah.
If we did 10 million views, they did 15 million views.
That's
But they were paid 10 times.
what this.
So the numbers will eventually add up. And if you're an intelligent person, you will realize that a well-made film about something that A, the audience wants to discover and talk about, and B, which has an audience base, will work.
Correct.
The problem is people catch the nose the other way. When you make a film, you should know who you're making it for. Before, and this is something we follow in our company, we design a poster and trailer on a storyboard level before we start shooting.
Oh, wow.
So it has to cater to the audience that we are making the film for. So like Lord Curzon Ki Haveli, for example, is not for everyone. We are aware of that.
Okay.
On the writing table, we knew that this is not a
Mass film. Yeah.
This is for people who like black comedies. This is for people who like Hitchcock. This is for people जिनको ऑफ थोड़ा
ऑफ ट्रैक, हाँ कुछ अलग.
एजी चीजें पसंद है, क्योंकि फन फिल्म है, ब्लैक कॉमेडी है, लेकिन इट्स नॉट योर स्लैपस्टिक कॉमेडी की ग्लास गिरा कॉफी करके, वो वाला कॉमेडी नहीं है. यू नीड सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ इन्वॉल्वमेंट इन द फिल्म टू लैंड, फॉर द जोक्स टू लैंड.
करेक्ट.
विकास मिश्रा वाज एन अवार्ड विनिंग राइटर, चौरंगा बनाई थी उन्होंने मेरे साथ, जिसमें मैंने एक्टिंग की थी, उन्होंने लिखी है. सो वी न्यू व्हाट वी आर मेकिंग दिस फॉर. सो नाउ व्हेन वी आर रिलीजिंग, हमारे में कोई वो ब्लाइंड साइट नहीं है कि हमें 500 स्क्रीन में रिलीज करना है, हमें 100 स्क्रीन में निकालनी है पिक्चर, क्योंकि हमने वैसे ही बनाई है. बिकॉज it is better, according to me, to have a 30%, 40%, 50% occupancy in 100 screens than having 10 or 20% in
1,000 screens.
silly.
Correct.
So Lakadbaggha was the same logic. This animal lover story was brewing in me since 2014, and I was quite shocked कि दुनिया में कोई विजिलेंटे जानवरों के लिए क्यों नहीं है, जबकि सबसे ज्यादा पीड़ित जानवर है हमारी दुनिया में.
Correct.
अमेरिका में the cows, the milking industry, injections, the whole, it's not just everywhere now.
Here also in India.
Chickens. और full disclosure, मैं मछली खाता था 2019 तक. And how it happened was in 2020 when COVID hit, during an interview actually, I think it was Times of India or News 18, COVID में वो वाले interviews हो रहे थे ना, Zoom वाले,
yeah.
तो मैं अपने कुत्तों के बारे में बात कर रहा था, and one of the journalists asked me, so are you a non-vegetarian? और मैंने कहा हाँ मैं फिश खाता हूँ. बट आफ्टर द इंटरव्यू ना, मैंने कहा यार मुझसे बड़ा हिपोक्रेट तो दुनिया में नहीं है कोई, क्योंकि अगर मैं जानवरों से प्यार करता हूँ तो मछली से मैं कैसे नहीं प्यार कर सकता हूँ. सो उस दिन ना 1-2 रात मेरे लिए डिफिकल्ट था. फिर मैंने कहा मैं नहीं खाऊंगा. एंड आई यूज्ड टू लव फिश, बट आई सेड आई हैव टू वॉक द टॉक एंड आई हैव टू स्टैंड बाय व्हाट आई बिलीव इन. ये कोविड आ गया तो और 6 महीने बंद हो गई, क्योंकि फ्रेश फिश तो मिल ही नहीं रहा. और फिर 9 महीने हो गए. मैंने कहा आई एम एब्सोल्युटली फाइन, छोड़ ही दो. एंड उस दौरान लकड़बग्गा भी लिखना. सो अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स इन यूनिवर्स आई बिलीव अलाइन लाइक दिस. लकड़बग्गा भी मैं लिख रहा था विद आलोक इज द राइटर ऑफ द फिल्म. एंड आई हैड अ बेसिक स्टोरी अबाउट एन एनिमल लवर विजिलेंटे, एंड देयर आर सो मेनी एनिमल लवर्स इन द वर्ल्ड. आई सेड कि अगर उस पॉपुलेशन का 0.1% देख ले, एंड आई वांटेड टू मेक समथिंग दैट हैज अ लेगेसी गोइंग अहेड. सो लाइक पार्ट 3 के बाद शायद मैं फिल्म में नहीं रहूंगा, but there will be an animal lover vigilante girl in Kanpur.
Correct.
Or
somewhere in South, somewhere in, yeah.
Or mix of characters. So there will be a homosexual man somewhere in the world who's a superhero for animals.
Yeah.
So, and then I merged the universe. So that's how Lakadbaggha happened. And Alok wrote a script, and then we got Victor on board to direct it. And VFX, I spoke to Rajiv at White Apple before. I said, because we place our eggs very right.
Correct.
We have fixed budgets, and how we work is we work backwards from the budget. So once we've allocated something, a number, we don't move from it. So even with actors, and I'm being brutally honest, and I have really struggled with it in the industry, because people are not used to this concept. They think everybody is bargainable.
Yeah.
We tell them this is the script, this is how we'll make it. And you can ask all my actors, every film we've promised has turned out exactly how I promised. This is the offer. And this is not in any way a reflection of your value as an artist, because to be honest, you can never value an artist.
Value an artist, yeah, of course.
So this is just like a mark of respect from our end as an independent production company.
This is what we have types.
What we have and what we really feel this film can afford, and what this character deserves. It's got nothing to do with you.
Okay.
Now, if you love the script, if you loved my vision on the film, you come on board. And that's how we got Zareen Khan, for example, on Hum Bhi Akele, Tum Bhi Akele. And she was sporting enough to jump on the ship, because before that, she had only done Veer and Houseful and big scale Bollywood films. So it's a very honest communication from the outset. कि ये है, ये script है, और मेहनत होगी. We'll workshop, we'll do the best film that we can. There'll be no kamchori. If you agree, then you sign the agreement. And my agreements are very airtight with actors, that there'll be no alcohol, there'll be no...
Achha, you mentioned everything.
Everything is mentioned in the agreement. Ki during the shoot, you will not be doing anything that is detrimental to your health, which can in turn affect the film. Now, if you have a problem against that, I respect it, don't come on board. Kyunki we minimize risks. We take 0% chances on देखिए फिल्म बनाते टाइम अनसीन एरर्स बाय डिफॉल्ट होते हैं, बारिश हो जाएगी या शॉर्ट सर्किट कुछ हो गया, तो यू आर ऑलवेज अगेंस्ट फाइटिंग अ चैलेंज. You don't want the team to present you with challenges. So we make it very clear that we don't care what is your personal life beyond the point because it's your personal life, but we try to make everybody feel like a family and a healthy family at that.
Family, yeah.
So our sets have only vegetarian food. Everybody gets their own bottle. These are small things, but I feel they go a long way. Kyunki on an average, a person has 5 to 6 plastic bottles a day, say 30 days of shoot. So one person is drinking 180 small bottles. अगर अब मैंने सबको एक स्टील की बॉटल दे दी उसके नाम के साथ, 180 इंटू 100, डू द मैथ. मैंने कितने प्लास्टिक बॉटल्स बचा लिए? 7 पिक्चरों में मैंने कितना प्लास्टिक बचाया है? अब आप बोलोगे अरे इट्स अ वेरी स्मॉल थिंग. नाउ आई एम सेइंग इफ एवरीवन डज दिस,
Then really
बूंद बूंद से सागर बनता है
Exactly,
यार.
yeah.
So that's how Lakadbaggha came into being, where there was I have spoken about this in the press. पृथ्वी थिएटर के बाहर एक कुत्ते को एक गार्ड मार रहा था, 2014 की बात है, और मैंने उससे डंडा छीना और उसको मारा, और मैंने कहा कैसा लगा, और मैं बिल्कुल वायलेंट आदमी नहीं हूँ, इट वॉज जस्ट इंस्टिंक्ट. मैं गाड़ी से उतरा, वो बहुत बुरी तरह मार रहा था, एंड आई हैड डॉग्स ऑल माई लाइफ. उस सिक्योरिटी गार्ड के इंसिडेंट के बाद द जर्म आइडिया ऑफ दिस कि रियल लाइफ में तो मैं लोगों को मार नहीं सकता,
Yeah.
जो जानवरों को, बट वॉट इफ देयर इज अ हीरो who goes to protect these animals. So in 2014, the seed was sown, and probably over the years it developed, and I wrote the opening scene of the film. So जो opening scene था वो मैंने लिख दिया था A to Z कि पहले 10 मिनट फिल्म के ये होंगे. So when Alok came on board in 2020, I gave him the story and the opening scene जो मेरे पास लिखा हुआ था, and I said now go have fun. And Alok is the biggest comic book geek in India, I feel.
Okay.
And he did a fantastic job with the first film, and that's how. And then Riddhi Dogra came on board, and Milind Soman came on board, and Paresh Pahuja came on board, and Iksha Kering, and that's how part 1 happened. And then once part 1 happened, I realized we need to go bigger with this, and that was always the vision at the back of the mind. So I always knew there'll be a part 1, 2, 3, but I wanted it to be more universal.
Correct.
So part 2 is in Indonesia, which we've already shot, which is going to be coming end of this year or first quarter next year. And then part 3 is in America. So it'll be South America, North America.
So the plan of part 3 is also ready.
The script is being written right now. So it'll be ready. The script will be ready in 2 months. And then, yeah.
Okay. So how was it acting with a hyena?
VFX.
VFX. Yeah, because you're an actor. Like, so the whole idea...
No, so I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
VFX games, I am a very competitive sports person and gamer.
Okay.
And I don't have quote unquote bad habits.
Yeah.
But if I sit on a gaming console and if somebody is playing better than me, मैं उठूंगा नहीं जब तक मैं उसको हरा ना दूं.
Oh, is it?
So ऐसा वाला दिमाग चलता था मेरा. इसीलिए मेरे घर में ना प्ले स्टेशन है अब ना कुछ है, क्योंकि मुझे उस जोन में घुसना ही नहीं.
रखना ही नहीं है घर पे.
So VFX similarly is something that really fascinated me. And the first film I ever saw, let's see, in a theater, English film. हिंदी फिल्म थी जो जीता वही सिकंदर. English फिल्म थी जुरासिक पार्क.
Okay.
इलाहाबाद में चंद्रलोक सिनेमा था, उसमें मेरे भाई ने मुझे दिखाई थी. I was blown away. And it happens to date. My film viewing is exactly how I viewed films when I was 5. Even today. I cry if something, like I saw the new Jurassic Park, if something thrills me, I get thrilled. तो मैं corrupt नहीं हुआ हूँ. Adulthood has not corrupted me. Which corrupts, I think, 95-97% people.
Yeah.
Because they stop feeling or they stop expressing. So for me, Jurassic Park opened something कि ये भी हो सकता है. और उस टाइम तो मुझे समझ नहीं थी ना, और ना इंडिया में ना इंटरनेट था,
कुछ नहीं.
कैसे तो कुछ कंप्यूटर पे बनाया है वाला सीन था ना, क्योंकि डायनासोर्स तो है नहीं. आई थिंक द टर्निंग पॉइंट केम इन also my exposure, to be honest. I was shown Terminator because my uncle used to live in America, so VHS cassettes आते थे, Terminator, Superman. So मैं ये सारी फिल्में VHS पे देखता था और मैं कहा ये आदमी उड़ रहा है, ये भी हो सकता है. So my world view probably opened there. And then at the cusp of the millennium, if I'm not mistaken, Lord of the Rings was, even in the VFX industry, was the game changer, right?
True.
Where the trilogy came, and suddenly, also it was very expensive, right?
True.
So for that film to jump that bridge and create what they created was, I think, and then when we saw it, we always saw things a little later, right?
Yeah.
I was like, wow, yaar, memory. It was that, then it was Lord of the Rings, and then when was Avatar? I think 2009, correct?
2009-10, yeah.
Avatar was the next big step, right?
Correct.
VFX wise.
Correct.
Now you are talking like something else, right? And then the next big leap for me happened when I saw the Mandalorian. When I saw the LED,
LEDs, yeah.
I was like, John Favreau's killed it. That he's brought back, actually that existed in the 90s, and for him to have brought it back because the cameras are better and the tech is
Tech
better.
is better and all.
To have done it on that scale and that effectively. So from being a supporting artist, in my view, VFX has become now a hero.
Hero.
It's a main player, right?
Correct.
So for me, the most exciting part about producing sometimes is how best to use VFX not as a supporting artist. Of course, you can do your cleanups, you can add things, but VFX now is a storyteller, I believe, in itself.
Yeah, because you...
In live action
In
films,
live action.
not just animation or
Correct.
VFX films. So when Lakadbaggha was happening, I told Rajiv that I need the best. Also, to be fair, जब हमने मोना डार्लिंग बनाई थी, उसमें सिर्फ 4 डेड बॉडी के शॉट्स थे. लेकिन मैंने राजीव से कहा था कि राजीव, उस टाइम राजीव वाज हेडिंग दृश्यम VFX. I remember. दृश्यम was doing the VFX. मनीष मुंद्रा's. And मुझे 4 डेड बॉडी बनाने में ना 3 महीने लगे थे. I had given him that time. But if you go on Amazon Prime and watch Mona Darling, those dead bodies will freak you out. Because till then in Indian movies, that kind of visual texture was not done.
Correct.
Because they are warped. एक का टांग ऐसे cracked है, एक का बीच से cut. We did some crazy stuff, but it took time. And that's the thing with VFX. You have to give it time. At the same time, back then they were Drishyam was doing Mohenjo-daro, I remember, because Ashu sir used to come in, literally his team would sit,
Yeah.
and they were creating a flood, and they had a release date. And मैं राजीव से बोलता रहता था, मुझे 4 डेड बॉडी बनाने में 3 महीने लग गए हैं, ये लोग
इतना बड़ा कैसे बनाए?
ये लोग कैसे 2 महीने में खत्म करेंगे? And it was a great lesson for me when I saw that film. I realized कि if you're doing something of this scale,
You need time.
you need to give it at least a year. Even if you have to get the... So VFX for me, of course the tech is getting better and now with AI coming in. But to get the detailing right, like in part 2 now, in Lakadbaggha part 2, we have an even greater... So they've been working since Jan.
Yeah.
We are in August. So they are already 8 months
8
in.
months.
I don't know when they'll finish. So my timeline is shifting because of... But then I will only make this film once. I have a very simple rule. Of course, they have to be accountable and they need to deliver. But the audience should not feel cheated. So we will give them the best product once. Because again, once the film stays, it stays beyond me. Right?
Correct. Exactly.
One day I will not be there, the film will be there. So I don't want somebody to look up and say, yaar, wo VFX. Because in Lakadbaggha, so many people came to me and said, you shot with a real hyena.
Exactly.
For me, that was a compliment for the VFX team. And that's something I struggle with VFX teams sometimes, where another thing my mom used to say, that there's a difference between a job and a good job.
True.
Yeah. And that determines whether you are remembered or not. I feel sometimes artists only try to finish a job. You have to think story. So that's why I get excited when I meet a VFX artist who is not just invested in creating, say, a hyena, who's interested in what the hyena is feeling.
Yeah.
Because then he's involved with me on the storytelling. Because I am communicating something to the audience.
Correct.
It is not like a staccato, hyena comes, walks, goes. No. If there is an emotional exchange between a human being and a hyena, in Lakad, for example.
The third person has to get that emotion.
And if the artist, see, the actor is a human, so he's feeling. The artist creating the hyena, or for that matter, any VFX model, has to be feeling what the hyena is feeling to be able to create.
Correct.
So I think the biggest challenge is, as a VFX industry, that we need to educate artists not just in creation,
Correct.
but on the soul impact of it. Because at the end of the day, I'm using VFX to tell a story. Like I said, the VFX is the hero now. It's not a supporting actor for me. In Lakad 2, it's called Lakadbaggha 2, The Monkey Business. That's the title of part 2. So the monkey, the Yaki monkey, is the hero of the film. Now he has to be at par, if not better, in terms of what he's trying to express, for the audience to be engaged and believe what we are trying to sell. And that's where VFX, I think, has become such a big component in the kind of stories I want to tell. Because I also enjoy the creation process. From not having anything to then seeing it into a small model, then it brings me a lot of joy. It's the child in me that gets fascinated. The boy who saw Jurassic Park, like, ye bhi ho sakta hai, is now like, like I say, I always look back at where I was, and then everything is an upward curve.
So as an actor, like, how, of course, you've studied a lot about VFX.
Sure.
But as an actor, when you act, when there is nothing in front of you,
Sure.
what comes in your mind? Like, but you have to, like, for example, if you and me are talking, you want to show your anger to me, you can show it. But imagine if there is nobody sitting here, you still have to show.
Imagination for an actor is the biggest tool, biggest weapon. And because I'm a storyteller and now I'm as a director, producer, I know exactly what I want in VFX. So I am actually so much more in control when I'm doing a scene where there's an imaginary monkey, because I'm imagining what the monkey will be doing.
Correct.
Because I can fine tune it to what I want. So my acting becomes so much reactive because I know what the monkey is giving me, right? Like right now they hate me. They hate me when I go there because I know I keep telling them, nahin, his eye has to blink here, and sometimes it's hard to explain. But the thing is, while shooting, I have reacted to what that monkey is giving me, which I know what it's giving me. So you have to give that. Otherwise, this exchange becomes fake.
Correct.
So I think if you are a decent actor, then you have a very strong imagination. And that's why I keep telling actors when I go for workshops that comfort is the enemy. You can never become a great actor coming from privilege. Simple. Very simple. Fact of life. You have to feel pain. And real emotional pain of some kind, of some struggle. And it's not a bad thing. People talk about struggle in a very detrimental or, oh, my struggle. It's good. When you came out of your mother's womb, it was a struggle, bro.
Struggle only.
And when you will die, it will be a struggle.
True.
And those are the two most magical moments you'll have in your life. The first time you breathe oxygen and the last time you breathe oxygen. So I think because we don't talk about these things openly, for example, death also, it is important to get ready because you and I will die. And again, since I was a kid, people get such a taboo topic. Now it's negative. It's not. It's coming, bro. Through
everyone, yeah.
Through this podcast chat, we are moving one step closer, technically.
Correct.
We have less time left
now
from whatever we had when we began. And may God give you, me, everyone a long life. But so, मुझे लगता है talking about these things in a healthy way allows you to develop your emotional spectrum, which is very important for an actor to be half decent. Which is why if you see all great actors who we have now, Nawaz Bhai, for example, he's seen so much struggle here. I remember I cast him in a film called Black and White. I was assisting Subhash Ghai in 2006. He got a 20,000 rupee check. I am not even kidding. You can ask him. The joy on that man's face.
Very.
Because he nearly had tears in his eyes because he didn't have food at that time, money for food. But when he performs, he can channelize that pain because he's felt it. So it's there. अभी आपको पता ही नहीं है अगर कि जद्दोजहद क्या होती है जिंदगी में, तो आप वो
How will you bring it out?
आपको इमेजिन करने के लिए भी एक लेवल का एक्सपीरियंस. मेरे एक बहुत फेवरेट एक्टर हैं रणबीर कपूर. I think of I love his work. He also has a lot of pain in his life. I can bet you. I don't know him personally, but because he's sourcing it from somewhere, and then of course his craft multiplies it and makes it so strong. उन्होंने किसी interview में कहा था that Aamir sir had told him to get in a train and travel in India. I think that's one of the best things any young actor can do. Because I look back at my life, I was in Allahabad, so I used to do these train trips. Prayagraj करके ट्रेन थी, दिल्ली जाती थी जो, तो मैंने कितनी जो चीज़ें मैंने एक्सपीरियंस की ना ट्रेन ट्रिप में, खाना लोग शेयर कर रहे हैं,
कोई बैठ के देखो किसी को
देख रहा है, आप खिड़की के बाहर देख, आप ट्रेन रुकती है देख रहे हो कि वहाँ समोसे भी, छोटी छोटी चीज़ें हैं. These are life lessons which the struggle of nearly missing a train, the tension of that कि गाड़ी छूट जाएगी, the noise. See, we have 5 senses and they are all absorbing at all time. As an actor, your imagination is being created by all 5.
True.
You can't say कि मैं सिर्फ क्रॉफोर्ड मार्केट में वॉक करके आ जाऊंगा तो मैं जानता हूँ क्रॉफोर्ड मार्केट में रहना कैसा होता है. बिल्कुल नहीं. क्रॉफोर्ड मार्केट एक्सपीरियंस करने के लिए आपको क्रॉफोर्ड मार्केट में खाना पड़ेगा, सोना पड़ेगा, रहना पड़ेगा टू एक्सपीरियंस द वर्ल्ड. आप कफ परेड में रह के एक वॉक करके आप यू कैन ऑब्जर्व. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा ज़रूरी नहीं है, लेकिन एंड आई एम नॉट इवन अ फैन ऑफ कंप्लीट मेथड. लेट मी बी वेरी क्लियर.
Okay.
But I believe that depending on where you are in your life and what you have experienced, your imagination is either strong or weak in certain facets. And as an actor, you should know कि वो क्या है, और जहाँ weak है वो चीज़ें आपको जाके थोड़ा experience करना चाहिए.
करना पड़ेगा. Cool. So Lakadbaggha had a lot of VFX, and you acted in it, and you were also producer.
Right.
Right. You also mentioned that everything has a fixed amount kept as a producer, like but VFX can go wrong.
Yeah.
At the same time, fix a lot of things.
Sure.
During this
At the same time become expensive.
This exactly. So during shoots, as you said, there are a lot of surprises which come. Set जल गया, ये हो गया, वो हो गया, फलाना ढिमकाना, कुछ चीजें हैं नहीं, बोला ये we can't waste time. Let's roll and then we'll see what happens. We'll fix it in post. So how?
नहीं, वो rule I think if you are an unprepared filmmaker is when you use lines like that.
No,
Post में fix कर दे. I hate that line.
No, but I'm saying surprises आ गया shoot पे and you have only 5 hours.
5%.
5, हाँ.
I give that room 5%,
5%.
not more than that. Surprises can't be more than 5% because you can't escalate your costs beyond 5%, according to me.
Okay.
On an independent film, when you are a studio and you have unlimited budgets or you have an in-house VFX studio, I understand you're free and you can do what you want. Preparation, again, I go back to preparation. Deciding how many pages of VFX is there. In those pages, how many seconds of VFX is there. Having a very clear scene breakdown in your head. कि अगर मेरा और बंदर का सीन है फॉर एग्जांपल, या मेरा और हाइना का सीन है, तो उसमें कितने सेकंड शॉट्स उसके हैं, कितने मेरे हैं, कितने कॉम्पोजिट्स हैं साथ में, कितने इंटरैक्टिव हैं इफ एट ऑल. हैविंग क्लैरिटी ऑफ ऑल दोज थिंग्स टेक यू अ लॉन्ग वे इन then determining a budget. So when we put a number to something, we are not putting a random number.
Yeah, it's all decided.
We are thinking it through. कि if a film has 3 minutes of VFX and this scale of VFX, out of those 3 minutes, 2 minutes is animal being generated. So that has a certain cost, which we know, we discuss with the VFX team.
Right.
30 seconds is cleanups of wires or blah, blah, blah. 30 seconds is, say, phone PIPs, screen PIPs. So different things have different costings. So then we come to a number and we say, this is what. So it's not like we are being unreasonable. We are not being, हम लोग वो बोलते हैं ना कि हवा में नहीं
बात करते हैं. हाँ.
हम लोग टेस्ट मैच खेलते हैं. हमारा फिल्म मेकिंग इज लाइक टेस्ट मैच, गुड फिल्म मेकिंग. It can also be T20, but that's not the film we make.
Yeah.
So we prep more, and then we have never shot any film over 30 days. All our film productions.
Wow.
So Lakadbaggha, which is such a big action film. Yeah, 12 days of action. Still 30 days. Part 2.
So even part 1 had a lot of action. Like
27 days.
Are you an like
I trained for
you
part 1.
trained for, yeah.
I was not a marsh, but I enjoy the struggle of learning. So 6 months so I don't do gym vim here in terms of, for Lakad 1 I started going with Prashant training because the director wanted me to look fitter. But I am naturally fit. Because see, the moment you take, if you're sleeping well, if you're not doing alcohol, you're living by nature's rules to begin with. So your body by default will be in a certain shape by its own. On top of that, I have 2-3 अच्छी आदतें हैं कि मैं रात को 7-7:30 बजे खाना खा लेता हूँ, 9:30-10 तक सो जाता हूँ.
सो जाते हो, ओके.
तो कभी ऐसा नहीं होता है कि मैं 10 बजे खा के 10:30 बजे सोऊंगा. मेरे खाने और सोने में हमेशा 2 घंटे का फर्क होता है.
ओके.
सुनने में बहुत छोटी चीज़ लगती है, लेकिन जब आप 20-30 साल इसको करते हैं तो आपके बॉडी में नेचुरली एक असर आता है. अभी मैं 40 का हो जाऊंगा अगले साल. मैं 20 साल 18 साल के लड़कों से ज़्यादा तेज़ दौड़ सकता हूँ ऑन एन एवरेज. और यू गेट इनटू अ रिंग विथ मी, आई कैन फाइट यू लॉन्गर, हिट यू हार्डर. एंड ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं स्पेशल हूँ. मैं ये इसलिए नहीं बोल रहा कि आई एम, वो इसलिए है क्योंकि छोटी छोटी आदतों से आपके शरीर में बहुत फ़र्क पड़ता है.
करेक्ट.
एंड हम लोग इसके बारे में बात नहीं करते. हम लोग कहते हैं डाइट कर लो. 3 महीने अच्छा डाइट करेंगे, 9 महीने बॉडी खराब करेंगे. आप, बहुत ही सिंपल है. ये रेंट पे मिली है हमें बॉडी. जब से आप पैदा हुए हो
ये रेंट पे है.
रेंट पे हो आप. अब आप अगर इसका रेंट टाइम पे भरोगे और इसका ख्याल रखोगे, लाइक योर हाउस, एवरीथिंग विल बी फाइन. नहीं रखोगे
करेक्ट.
तो आप ये नहीं बोल सकते भगवान मेरे साथ ऐसा क्यों हुआ.
पॉइंट है.
आप ये नहीं बोल सकते यार आई वॉज ड्रंक एंड ड्राइविंग एंड आई हिट समवन, गॉड व्हाई डिड, गॉड डिडंट डू एनीथिंग. Your choices, I believe in one very simple thing from a very young age. Your choices decide your life.
करेक्ट.
Good, bad, सब आपका है, सब कुछ. और मैं रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी और ब्लेम कभी किसी पे देता ही नहीं. कुछ अच्छा होता है तो मैं बिलीव करता हूँ माई पेरेंट्स ब्लेसिंग एंड माई मदर हैज टॉट मी राइट विच आई एम फॉलोइंग. कुछ बुरा होता है तो आई लुक इनवर्ड्स कि मैंने ही कुछ गलत किया होगा एंड हाउ कैन आई इम्प्रूव इट नेक्स्ट टाइम. जिसकी वजह से मेरा स्ट्रेस कभी रिएक्टिव मोड पे जाता ही नहीं है. और मैं बहुत अच्छे से सोता हूँ रात को शांति से. दैट इज अ बिग बिग थिंग इन लाइफ. इफ यू कैन स्लीप पीसफुली ना ब्रो, नथिंग इज मोर वैल्यूबल.
Which part of filmmaking excites you the most?
ओह यार ये बहुत डिफिकल्ट
Okay.
आंसर है.
No, but अभी acting में तो उसे निकाल दूंगा because I had acting, producing and direction.
Producing is a thankless job. I don't like it.
They don't like it, but you still want to be a producer.
It gives me the freedom to choose the stories that I want to tell and probably leave a legacy of stories which I hope people look back and say I did something meaningful. So that freedom I really value. I won't lie. I don't enjoy it because of the culture I'm in. One thing on record I'd like to say, producers make films, not directors.
Not directors.
A producer chooses a script, decides to back it, mounts it, decides how it will release. That's filmmaking. Then he hires a director to direct it. Because of our culture, which was finance-based, producers were financiers.
Financiers, yeah.
And the directors used to do most of the producing, real producing. Luckily, over the years, that has changed. I come from the school where I believe producers make films and they need to be given that respect and that freedom. उसका दूसरा तरफा coin का ये है that producers need to be educated. So the problem is my theory lands flat on the ground the moment you have an uneducated producer trying to say ये भी हो जाएगा वो भी हो जाएगा without thinking कि कैसे होगा. Education, again, going back to the root of everything is having educated producers. But it's a thankless job because I realize I'm working against the tide. Because people have a certain mindset about producers. And I am the antithesis of that. So half of them don't believe me. I'm telling you honestly. Half of them take me for granted. क्योंकि उनको लगता है ये तो बहुत अच्छा है. इसको तो निचोड़ लो. उनको समझ में नहीं आता कि ये बड़ी अजीब चीज़ है. जो चीज़ आपको समझ में नहीं आती ना, आप उससे डरते हो.
Correct.
So I really struggle because of that. It's changing slowly, but producing is not at all my favorite. दूसरा ऑप्शन क्या था?
Acting and direction.
Acting is something I love, hands down. It brings me a lot of joy. On stage I've had moments where, and जिंदगी में 4 या 5 ही बार हुआ है ये. मैंने 20-25 नाटक किए हैं, 15-20 फिल्में की हैं और उसमें 25 साल की एक्टिंग में 4-5 बार हुआ है where I have been in a state of bliss, complete bliss. I'm always in bliss when I'm acting, but I have had the audience on a rein, and that moment, it happens magically sometimes when you are like in cricket. On some days when I was batting, it used to happen. It's when you're in the zone and everything comes together. वो feeling मैं describe ही नहीं कर सकता. It's a state of bliss which is beyond. There is, the Veds have this term Satchitananda, where joy is greater than happiness. And you have to be in a state of joy. For me, acting is that state of joy. Directing, I struggle because I have so much, kabhi knowing a lot also, so I'm learning to channelize it, which I already am. That's why I was not directing. I could have directed 10 years ago, but I didn't want to. And even moving forward, I don't want to do a lot of work. Only stories which really compel me, मैं वो करूँगा. But acting is my first love, followed by cricket.
So when is Lakadbaggha 2 planned to be released?
When the VFX is done.
It all boils down to VFX. But one good thing is you're not as you already said, you're not pressurizing the VFX.
I am under a lot of pressure.
Yes.
The VFX team has used all the time they had.
Okay.
So now they are under a lot of pressure. Because it's been, like I said, over 5 months. And we missed a few deadlines. But now we are at a place where we have to pull the emergency button. But I think the film will be ready in another month or two. And we should look at a first quarter. We are looking at a world premiere soon at a big fest and then a theatrical. So maybe in the first quarter of 2026. And then I'll go to shoot part 3 in the last quarter of 2026. And then the comic book is happening parallelly. So the second comic book comes at Comic-Con. And so that takes a lot of time. Comic books I thought would be easier, but
no.
They're a lot of fun again, but harder than films.
So you're making a comic book on Lakadbaggha?
Oh, we already launched it. It's Om Book has published it, Books International.
I didn't know that, so my bad, but we need to talk about this.
So John Abraham very kindly came and launched it last month. 30th of May, I think, we launched the first comic. We dropped the teaser at Comic-Con last year, and then Om picked it. Ajay Mago and Books International, and they published it, and Britton Peck, the American illustrator, and me have created it. First book is already out. The second book we are working on, it's available on Amazon, so please.
So we'll put the link in the description.
Please, everyone.
Your t-shirt is from the comic book?
From the comic. This is actually, that's Britain. Yeah.
That's also in the film trailer.
That's Arjun's Takya Kalam, his signature line.
So fantastic. I'm like the comic book is available on Amazon. We'll have the description written below.
Please.
Yep.
Comic book is again a dream, and to have a superhero franchise, and he's an ordinary superhero, which is his power, right?
Yeah.
And he's connected to nature and to animals, and which I believe all of us are. And then over years and years of bad conditioning, we've lost the touch to earth. He hasn't. Arjun hasn't. And again, a lot of elements come from the Veds there because he's Arjun. So he has a guiding force in Krishna. So the comic book actually begins with a verse from Bhagavad Gita. Every comic book is starting with a verse from Gita. So the idea is to make it a fun franchise for kids, for adults, and have our cultural elements embedded in it somehow, in the film and in the... But they're separate verticals. The comic book is a lot more expansive than... So what you read in the comic book is not even there in the film.
In the film, yeah.
So it's a lot more... Because you're not restricted to 2 hours.
And also there is no VFX efforts there. So hence you can deliver on time.
Oh no, that's another...
So what do you think Indian VFX industry is going, and where is it going? What is your take about the Indian VFX?
I think we are on the way up, as is obvious with the kind of great work we are doing. Tumbbad, for example, what they created really took my breath away. Tumbbad is a film that straight away comes to my mind.
Yeah.
Not just for the filmmaking, but specifically for the VFX.
VFX.
The VFX was, I thought, And of course, we have studios like White Apple. We have, the thing is, when people with the right intent come in any industry, where their attention is to do a good job and not just a job. Because the moment you're trying to do a good job, you're not just thinking of money. You're trying to tell the best possible story. And I think there are people like Rajiv who have come in with that intent. Now, I hope they don't become corrupt
With time.
with time,
Yeah.
as happens, like I said, with a lot of people. But I think we are really, really understanding the power that it gives to storytellers. And like I said, if more and more VFX artists are invested in the storytelling and not just creating an asset,
Yeah.
then the process becomes so much richer. Like, I'll tell you, if a VFX artist sees a branch, like for example, there's a shot, monkey jumps on the tree, and the other day somebody said that leaf should move because he's jumped on
Jumping.
that.
Yeah.
And I wanted to kiss him. I was like, dude, ये
Yeah.
अब आपने लगाया दिमाग, ये करो. Don't just give me a jump. Give me the fact that the branch moves, the leaves move. Because now, so I think that's the direction we need to take, where more and more artists do VFX. And this I say for everything. Whether you're doing jhadu, pocha, whether you're driving a car, whether you're playing cricket, acting, podcasting, interviewer, whatever you do, the attempt should be to do a great job.
Correct.
Kaam chori nahi. So I really, and I see a lot of great studios popping up and doing some great work. So I'm really hopeful for the animation industry, for the VFX industry. And I'm actually excited that I'm living in this time where we have these tools to our disposal, where we can imagine what, I imagine a hyena and the hyena's there.
So as an actor, have you played with the AI tools? Because tomorrow you might not need, of course you might need people to do visual effects, but did you think like, why can't I play with the AI and try to create something which might be useful for my film?
Yeah, like I said, I come from education, so till I study it and learn about it, I will not meddle with it.
Correct.
See, I'm not talking about these, anybody, okay, so quickly बताऊंगा ये मेरा फंडा जो है. There is a difference between information and knowledge.
Correct.
Google पे जाके, what is a mobile phone? How is it made? Type करना, you will get a stepwise analogy कि ये होता है. You've got the information. मैं आपको बोलूँगा बनाओ, आप बना नहीं पाओगे. आप वो explain भी नहीं कर पाओगे. So मेरा बड़ा simple है. If I tomorrow want to create something personally, myself, I'll probably go and do a course, spend a year of my time learning it, at least. And then come and make everyone's life miserable, because then I'll know.
Know it, yeah.
So then
You
it's
have the knowledge, in-depth knowledge.
then आपकी वाट लग गई, क्योंकि तब मैं like with action or with with editing, for example, trailers, like I study trailers. Cutting trailers I feel is a art.
Yeah, of course.
If you pick up any of our films trailer for that year, it will be amongst the top 5 trailers. Pick up more, even today. Pick up Mona Darling, and the trailer editors run from me. But you see the trailers and you'll know why it takes time. Because a trailer is your first
impression.
And it has to be original. It has to be what the movie is. It cannot be... and you can't learn it fatte.
Yeah.
You can't learn marketing a movie fatte. You have to understand what your product is. You have to understand who your TG is. Then you have to know how to mount your product for that audience, so that that audience is excited to consume it, for which you need to understand marketing and you need to understand the tools of it. And then you need to be intelligent enough to put your idea into implementation, which needs education.
True.
Information will not get you there. So I really believe if I ever want to personally get invested, I'll go and study, learn about it, then come back. And yeah, but it's something I'd like to learn, to be honest. AI का मुझे पता नहीं. I would like to, लेकिन I'm very instinctive. So it'll happen one day and I'll go and learn, or not. Or I'll probably work with teams that know more than me and teach me about it. But we are getting there, I feel.
Awesome. So last question. as a producer or as a director or as an actor, this just came in my mind.
Sure.
So would you make a film which is like Tridev or Jurassic Park?
That's a hard one.
Yeah. Or both.
I'll have Tridev in Jurassic Park. 3 men fighting at an
against
island running away from dinosaurs.
That's a good concept. We just have one concept developed for your
Imagine Shah Rukh, Aamir, Salman
Salman.
together
and a
in
dinosaur.
one film. World has ended, isolated on an island. They have to save their life. I'd pay to watch it. You'd pay to watch it.
Absolutely. Who not? I think with these people coming, Tridev.
I mean, Rajiv Rai used to make these multi-stars. So imagine somebody gets all 3 of them together.
And a dinosaur.
Not
Yes.
a dinosaur, many dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Possible.
We would connect with Lakadbaggha too for the promotions as well. We'll start much.
Watch one. It's on BMS Stream.
Exactly. I was searching a lot. Then I asked Rajiv, like, hey.
No, we were on Z5 for 2 years, and
Yeah.
that's our agreement with them. And now it's on Stream, and very soon it will be on another platform. But it's available on Stream. Please watch it.
I would. And it's not just me. Yeah, I think that out of 1,200, you will see sudden spike in the next couple of weeks or days because I want everyone
Please.
to watch it so that then they relate to the podcast.
Please,
Yes.
please. Lovely. And Hum Bhi Akele is on Disney Hotstar,
Yeah.
Jio Hotstar.
Geo
So watch
Hotstar
that.
movie.
Yeah.
Awesome, Anshuman. Thank you so much for your time.